First of all, do you even know how hard it is to ollie? Never mind ollieing consecutively that many times in a row. I'm impressed.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and silly season is here in the NHL. Because the draft is tonight and free agency is Monday. The San Jose Sharks are on the clock, and there doesn't seem to be any drama about who they're going with. Macklin Celebrini has been the projected top pick for a while now, and while at a hockey camp, he did not chant "Go Knights Go," which will endear him even more to the Sharks fans. Trades are expected to happen tonight as well, and we already saw some Thursday. The Flames continue to clean house by shipping out Andrew Mangiapane to the Capitals for a second-round pick in 2025. And apparently the Flyers made a pitch to get the 4th overall pick from Columbus, according to our very own Pierre LeBrun. Added names that everyone feels like could be on the move, like, I don't know, Mitch Marner. And we're in for more than a few surprises from now until July 1st. But it still pains me to say Mitch Marner in this capacity in any way, okay? I don't want him going anywhere. Speaking of the start of free agency, there are a number of great players teams will be lining up for. At the upper echelon, we got Steven Stamkos, Sam Reinhart, and Jake Gensel. Stamkos has spent his entire career in Tampa, but the Lightning right now do not have much cap space, and are on the verge of announcing a Victor Hedman extension, which would kick in next season. They got some work to do if they want Stammer to finish his career in Florida. And just a couple hours ago, Pierre LeBrun tweeted a quote from his agent saying that he will in fact be a free agent on July 1st. So yeah, looks like Stamkos is going to hit the open market. As for Reinhart, the Panthers have the money to lock him up. But what do you pay a guy that took that big of a jump in production? And then there's Gensel, who is viewed as a rental for the Canes, as Tara Vinen, Brady Shea, and Brett Pesce are all UFAs as well. Simply put, there is not enough money for all of them, which makes the Canes one of the most interesting teams of the offseason. And just a reminder, you can watch all the action on TSN Monday with Free Agent Frenzy. It all starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And you can dual screen it watching us live on YouTube all Monday long. We're going to be at our Queen Street studio. It's going to be a good time. To the association, we got some big Raptors news today, as Emmanuel Quickley intends to sign a 5-year, $175 million extension with the Raps. While it's nice to bring Quickley back, as he was part of the OG trade last season, that $35 million price tag is pretty big. And this comes just a few days after the Scotty Barnes 5-year, $270 million extension was reported. That's almost half a bill for 2 players. And they still need to make a decision on Bruce Brown's team option at $23 million. And oh yeah, Gary Trent Jr., he's still an unrestricted free agent. So the Raptors still have some tough decisions to make, and have already committed a lot of cash. Back to the ice, and while the Four Nations face-off is not until February, the hype has officially started because all 4 teams have announced their first 6 players. But our focus to start has to be on that Canada roster, which features Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar, Brad Marchand, Connor McDavid, and Braden Point. Isn't it fun to just say those names all in a row, knowing that they're good old Canadian boys? And of course, the other squads will be fantastic, but not as fantastic as that stack. Come on, please. How are they gonna get beat? I don't think they are. Just don't ask about the goaltending yet. And now, as skilled as these 6 are, the other squads are looking pretty solid. The Sweden team is also looking absolutely fantastic, and plus we got Big Willie Nylander on there, so he's gonna have I just know he's gonna have one of those shots that's gonna blow everyone away. It's just gonna happen. He can't help himself. But that USA roster, are you kidding me? We got Adam Fox, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, and Matthew Tkachuk. I can't. This stack is too much, and I feel as though Sabres fans are gonna be kind of annoyed too. My producer wants me to pick a side now because of how stacked both Canada and the US are, but I have to choose the Canadian side, even though my Austin Matthews. Okay, I hate this. It's fine. We have to still choose Canada. We're Canadian, please. Okay, our little 2-day break from the Euro has felt like an eternity, and luckily, it's over tomorrow. We got 2 great games to kick off the round of 16. First at 11:45 a.m. Eastern, 8:45 a.m. Pacific, it's the Swiss taking on my Azzurri. And I know that you know some Italians around the city who are like gloating about it, who have the flags in their cars. Daniel Pignataro, the flags in the cars already. Please, this team has not given us anything to gloat about as of yet. So we'll see how they fare. Then after that, we got Germany and Denmark. So looking at our best bet for tomorrow, we're going to look at that Germany game. Now, if we knew Nicholas Füllkrug was going to start, then we'd be betting him to score at plus 195, no questions asked. Now, according to Florian Plettenberg of Sky Sports in Germany, it is likely we'd see Füllkrug in the starting lineup. But we don't have full confirmation on what the Germany 11 will look like, so we won't make that our official pick. Just know we love it if he starts. However, we do know Jamal Musiala will start. And our best bet is Musiala to score or assist at plus 140. So far, through 3 games, he has 2 goals, and even though he was held off the score sheet versus Switzerland, he still had plenty of opportunities. And just a reminder, you can watch the round of 16 tomorrow on TSN. It starts off with Italy and Switzerland, and finishes with Germany versus Denmark. Now joined by our racing guy, Tim Haraney. Great to see you, Timothy.
Marissa Thee, what's going on? Thanks so much for having me on DSC.
Okay, Tim, we got big news yesterday. After much speculation, Max Verstappen confirmed he will be returning to Red Bull next season. Why do you think he decided to stay?
Well, Marissa, as a racing driver, you always want to be in the best equipment possible. So for Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing, this has been the perfect marriage now for quite some time. Coming into the 2022 season, we had a brand new regulation change, and Red Bull hit the ground running in this regulation set, winning the championship in 2022, winning the championship last season, and now this season, again, Max on pace to win the World Drivers' Championship. However, looking into 2025, will Red Bull Racing be dominant? Will they have the best car? Probably not, but they will have competitive machinery. They will have a chance to try and chase down a fifth World Drivers' Championship for Verstappen. So for me, if I'm Max Verstappen, that's why I'm sticking around for 2025.
His contract with Red Bull runs until 2028. Do you see him staying for the full duration of that? Or do you think Mercedes or anyone else will make a run for him?
Oh my gosh, Marissa, I mean, there's just so much that goes into this one. Let's start at the beginning. F1, they have a new regulation set coming in for 2026, new cars, new engines. Then Red Bull Racing, there's a ton of infighting happening at that team off track. And now there's fighting between Jos Verstappen and Christian Horner. So Jos Verstappen being Max's dad. Now it's spilling into the media, where on Friday, Jos is saying he's done with Christian Horner, and Christian Horner answering questions from the media about Max going to Mercedes, and Horner basically saying, look, if Mercedes wants a Verstappen, they can have Jos. I think for Max, his decision is based off of performance. Where will Red Bull Racing be in 2026? Rumor has it, Mercedes, well, they are working on an incredible power unit for 2026. There's been a lot of positive rumors coming out about that. Toto Wolff, well, he's never held back. He has said publicly he wants Max Verstappen in his car. So if Red Bull Racing cannot produce performance for 2026, personally, I think he's gone.
Real quick, Tim, despite some Red Bull wins of late, it seems like McLaren is closing the gap. Does McLaren or Lando have a shot at catching Red Bull or Max for either championship?
That's a great question, Marissa, and probably one of the hardest ones for anyone to answer, but I'm glad you gave it to me, because here we go. I'm going to say that, hey, look, McLaren, I think they can win the Constructors' title for the World Drivers' Championship. I think Lando Norris can put a lot of pressure on Max Verstappen. One thing for Lando, though, he needs to be perfect. That means limiting all of his mistakes, because he is going up against a driver that makes zero.
Tim Rainey, we love this kind of drama with F1. Thanks for joining us.
Marissa Thie, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you, and thanks to producer Chris as well.
And you can watch the Austrian Grand Prix Sunday on TSN. Coverage begins at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. That's all for today. We'll see you right back here Monday, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. We'll see you then.